welcome to the Looney Bin, the great pop culture debates special Drag Race Canada fashion photo review. I'm your host, Eric Resniak, and I'm joined again by my good Judies, my finalists, Brett Chin, Curtis Creekmore, and Kai Nesset-Chin. And we are here to toot, boot, shoot, and poot the looks from the runway of episode 3 of Canada's Drag Race with the theme Quebecy with the good hair, and snaps to the gay intern who came up with that name. That's fantastic. Basically, apparently that was interpreted by the queens to mean some hair wig extension art, and they had varying degrees of success. So let's start off with our first girl on the runway. It was Kiara, and I'm going to give it to Brett Chen.
I am going to boot this look this week because it was just, again, a simple gold jumpsuit, and her looks have been very basic the past few, and so I'm giving it a boot.
All right, Curtis.
Did she dig this out of the trash can and just take Kyne's balls off of it?
Oh.
That's what it looks like to me. So I'm also going to boot it. It is it's pedestrian. Like, you get hair and this is what you go for. So that's not acceptable to me.
Boot.
Hi.
Yeah, the hair, I think, is an example of when you tease it too much and it just piss it off, like Jinx Monsoon used to say. So it looks weird. The hair looks funny to me. And then I don't know if she has ever padded on the show so far. I don't think so as far as hip pads go. But I really feel like this was, yes, a basic look. But if she had just tweaked a few things, I really feel like it could have been at least passable. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to boot it. Sorry.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm right with y'all. It's a boot. She was read pretty hard on the runway for not just this look being basic, but every look she's come out so far being basic. And she took it pretty hard. It was pretty brutal. But there's just nothing here. You're given the assignment to do something with essentially over the top hair, and you see some of the other things that came, and I can't imagine she's standing backstage talk about putting the lame and gold lame. Like, I just have to assume that she was like, I misunderstood the assignments and was really questioning her choices. I like Kiara. I think she's really talented. She needs to step it up because it's not acceptable at this stage. Again, it's season 1. It's not acceptable for a national television competition. So 4 boots for Kiara. Next up, we have Jimbo, who went the other way by giving us something rather shocking. I'm going to go to Brett.
I am going to toot it. It's giving me drag queen realness. It is giving me hair for days. It is hair. And I love the breastplate. I love everything about this. So I'm going to toot it.
Curtis.
Yeah, I really wish we could show the clip as she walked down the runway, just with everything like moving. It was just hair, but it gave so much movement. And it's kind of interesting that it's just chains and leather. That's the outfit, and some tape over her nipples. But like the hair, it's the hair. That's the point. And it's amazing. So it's a toot for me.
Kai.
Yeah, I think too, if we're going to go overall here and look at her so far this season, I mean, she gives us something different every episode. And it's polished. You know, it's not like, well, I'm trying this and we'll see if it works. And furthermore, with the padding, I don't know if her hips are padded in this, but it doesn't need to be because of the hair. And I think that's where Kiara was kind of failing. It's all she had was that jumpsuit, and there was no depth to it or curve to it. So something like this, yeah, it's fun to watch. You don't want her to stop walking down the runway. That's how good it is. So absolute toot.
Total toot for me. This was like Lady Godiva watched Cher's If I Could Turn Back Time video and was like close but not enough. And I really appreciated it. The movement was fantastic. It's like a human Pomeranian, but like a really slutty human Pomeranian. And I thought this was extravagant. I'm so living for Jimbo on the runway, especially. Challenge this week was very rough for her. She was touched by an angel that she didn't get put in the bottom 3, but this was spectacular, so I loved it. Next up, we have Tynomi Banks. Brett.
It's a no-nomi Banks for this one. This was the complete opposite. Um, there's no shape or anything. It's just flat, and I get it. She's trying to use different colored hairs and rainbow hair, and the shoes are inexcusable too. So I am booting it.
Curtis.
I want to love it. She reminds me of a really cool fry kid from McDonald's. But that's also a read because, like Brett said, there's absolutely no shape. I love the headpiece, wig, hat, hair thing. Beautiful, but there's no shape. And that's the unforgivable sin for me. So it's a boot.
Hi.
So I was really confused by this too. Again, I really like the shape of a woman's body, and I just don't get it at all with this. But if you watch the episode, I think she either had a premonition or she was guessing it's a strong possibility that she was going to be in the bottom, because all of that stuff comes off so easily. And the outfit underneath was not terrible. And guess what? It went with those shoes. So I just didn't know. It felt maybe like she was giving up a little bit, or I just really don't know. I was really confused. So it's a boot.
Yeah, I mean, the curious case of Tainomi Banks, because as Kai just alluded to, underneath this is another ensemble that is made of black hair that is better than this one, and it has a shape and it does give the illusion of a female body. It's still not great. It's still basically a like black hair bikini, but it's something. She is apparently quite the legend in Canada. She's been out there. The guest judge this week was Deborah Cox. She's been a backup dancer for Deborah Cox for years, like Deborah fucking Cox. And everyone's like, what is going on with you, Tainomi? It's a mess. I saw that wig piece that she's wearing on her head in the workroom footage, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. I'm so excited to see what's coming up with that. And then it was this, and I was like, oh God, it's just a mess. The whole thing is a mess, and I'm going to make like her shoes and boot. So moving on, we have Boa Brett.
I So I want to like this. She is just that comedy queen. This is totally her style. And I always love a Merkin. So she's working the Merkin. So
she is.
I I'm gonna toot it because I just think it's hilarious and I think it's funny. So I'm gonna toot it.
All right, Curtis.
Well, this is a Noah for me. I was waiting for it, Brett. I was waiting for you to use it, and you didn't. So I'll take it because I hate this. I love from the neck up. It's a pageant queen. I love that hair. It's great. I like that coat that she had on. I wish she had kept it on. I cannot get behind this. I see where she's going. I get it. I just didn't go with her. So I'm going to boot it.
Kai.
I think too, again, it needs to be stated that these looks on Canada's Drag Race, the presentation is really a big deal to them. I mean, yes. It really matters to them. And I think Boa plays into that perfectly. I want to like it too. I really do want to like it. And I do find it funny. I mean, I think it's great. It's something different. Maybe if she had like curled some hair and put it, instead of it being a bodysuit, so there was more hair and then maybe a hairy back or something, would have even been more. But the skin tone didn't match, and I mean the head up, yeah, I liked it, but it's a light boot. It's a boot.
Boot. I was so torn on this one because it came out and I fucking cackled. This bitch, like, I love her, and she's, to me, like, her and Jimbo are the two this season that I'm really vibing. I can't wait to see what they do each week. But if we're looking at this from a fashion perspective, I cannot in good conscience toot this. It reminds me a little bit of like Milk's look for the All Stars 3 promo, the muscle suit, except there's something about this that's so deliberately off-putting that I cannot get behind it. I can't. And I love Boa. I really, really do. I see what she was going for there. I appreciate the humor and everything she does. The presentation is always impeccable. But I just can't toot this. It's ridiculous, but not in a good way. Next up, we have Lemon.
Was that a boot, Eric?
That was a boot. Thank you.
Okay.
That was a boot. We have Lemon, and I'm going to toss it to Brett.
I get what she was trying to do with this, with the hair, but I am going to boot it. It's sour. It went sour for me.
Yeah. Curtis?
I don't see tree. Like I didn't get what she was doing until she was about halfway down the runway, and then I got it, and I didn't like it then either. The hair is just a rat's nest with what are probably supposed to be lemons in it,
Yeah.
and it just doesn't go. Her mug looks amazing. She gives me like Manila vibes in the face, but that's where it ends. So boot.
Kai?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the padding again. I think she wanted to get that look of a tree trunk. Maybe I'm hoping that's what she was trying to do, but no pads. I got no figure, and they're kind of lime green shoes. They're not like yellow, so that I also didn't like. Yeah, face is good, but it's a boot for me.
This for me was a case of a queen thinking that they were too clever by half and writing checks that they can't cash. I think the idea is cute and twee and very Lemon's brand, and I very much like Lemon, but the execution on this is really terrible. As Kai just alluded to, what drag queens like, I want to go down the runway looking like a fucking tree trunk. That's my vision. It's just not aesthetically pleasing to the viewer or to the judges. The hair is to me an idea that is poorly executed. It looks more like a fart cloud than it looks like a tree. This is such a weird thing to get hung up on, but I'm just going to say this. She has little yellow curls in her armpit for like armpit hair, I guess. And that just, for whatever reason, completely turned me off. I can't even explain it. It's completely irrational. I think Lemon's great. I think she's gorgeous. I think she's glamour. I think she was swinging for, I think Curtis's point, Manila-esque kind of comedy shtick here, and she just totally whiffed, in my opinion. It's a boot. It borders on poot for me, but I'm not going to go there. Next up, we have Priyanka. Brett.
Like you said, Eric, many times, she is gorgeous. And I absolutely love this outfit. My only critique is the back. It didn't continue in the back, so you could see her skin, so it was open in the back. So I wish it like the skirt went all the way around. But other than that, I loved it, so I'm tooting it.
Curtis.
I don't love this. And I felt really shady when I pulled this specific screenshot, but it was just really, they're all moving so much because they want to show like the movement of the hair. So this was the one thing that I felt like showed enough of the outfit and the movement to be like, this is what she was going for. But then she was making that face. Sorry, Priyanka. I love her hair, the wig. That's pretty. It's cool. But I don't know if I can get over the fact that this is just, it's a bodysuit that has stuff braided over top of it. Like you can see the nude unitard underneath it that's like also bejeweled, and then you have this weird like hairy cheerleading outfit over top of it. It just doesn't really work for me. And then you can kind of see her pelvis, like her between me down theirs is sticking out in this picture, and you saw it a lot on the runway. So I'm gonna have to give it a boot.
All right, Kai.
I actually do really like this look. I agree with Brett about it going all the way around. I think having that much stuff on and it's not moving, it seemed solid on her. The only thing that was really movement makes it work to have a lot of jewels, to have a lot of stuff. I think the shoes are so cute. I think her hair is amazing, and she is gorgeous. I can't get over how I think, and like even last week, the outfit she wore, which really didn't look anything like her first drag look, she looked amazing. And it's like, I kind of forgive you because you're gorgeous. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe I forgave her because I think she's hot. Other than that, I'm just gonna go ahead and toot it.
Yeah, I'm going to toot this. I think that Priyanka is really good at selling what she's wearing. We talk about presentation multiple times where Boa and Jimbo kind of go for the funny stuff. Priyanka's not trying to be comedic. Priyanka's just out there being, I'm the shit, and you're going to know that I'm the shit. And she does it. She sells it. This to me is like Harley Quinn couture. It's all completely made out of hair, wigs, etc. So I feel like somewhere Yara Sofia is pleased because it's not tulle fabric. I think there's a lot of whimsy here, and I think it's really successful in what it's trying to do. One of the reasons she, by the way, was very hard to get a still picture of her. Last week's runway, she was moving slower than death. So this time she was basically giving you like, I'm going to come out on the stage on crank. And she did. I thought she did great. So for me, it's 2. Next up, we have Anastasia Anakwe, aka Starzy. Before I throw it to Brett, I feel that we need to do an explanation because this shot only gives you part of the story. When she first came to the runway, she had her back turned to the judges, and it was a full Cousin It fantasy, like nothing but hair all the way down on the back with a pair of shades and what looked to be a hat. And then she turned around and this was on the other side of it. And she described it as Cousin It meets Chun-Li. And with that description, I'm going to give it to Brett.
No, she's taking my culture. Why are you taking my culture? And she has a poodle on her head, it looks like, and I like what the judges said. If she came with like Morticia Adams, like a sexy, slutty Morticia Adams, when she turned around, that would have been way better. Nope, just boot it.
Boot. Curtis.
I thought so. I wasn't sure, but then I saw the beard and I was like, is this cultural appropriation? I don't know Starzy. I don't know her background, but this just comes off as inappropriate to me in 2 different ways. The fact that the front and the back have nothing in common, literally nothing in common, but also the fact that she's clearly going for, like, I mean, she said Chun-Li. It's a poot. I'm pooting it. Sorry.
I don't blame you, Kai.
I mean, I can go on, but the tights are ripped too. So when she did the lip sync at the end, because this does land her in the bottom, she takes off the Cousin It thing and she tries to move around the stage as the Chun-Li outfit, and the hair almost comes off like 8 times. So again, if I'm gonna get nitpicky, I mean, I could nitpick, but glue your wig down. I mean, I mean, especially if it's gonna be heavy and so a lot of things I think were just a miss, and it definitely is a boot for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even need to nitpick this one. This is gigantic insects that are crawling all over her. It's bad. And I think Anastasia has generally good taste. We've seen that in the previous episodes. I don't know what the fuck happened here, to be frank. I think she thought she had this really cool idea, and both parts of it were deployed so poorly. Like, even the Cousin It didn't look good. But then this Chun-Li, like, I can't. And the Fu Manchu beard was like out of a completely different challenge. Nothing about this looked good. Nothing about this worked. I also partially think that at this point she knew that the fix was in. She was never going to get the type of credit that she thought that she deserved, and she was kind of over everything. Notably, she refused to leave a message on the mirror at the end. She just walked out. She took the lipstick up to it, thought about it, said nope, and walked out. It's a bummer because I really liked her in the first 2 episodes. This is not how I would have liked to see her go out. I'm gonna poot it. I am. I think it's that bad.
Double
and
poot.
Yeah, double poot. And that wig, it's unforgivably bad. Not
Double
only is
pootitration.
it's true, double pootitration, which sounds like a great way to spend a Saturday night, but not a good night for a drag queen. Next up, we have Rita Baga. Brett.
I kind of forgot about hers. And so it's okay to me. It's very basic. It just looks like she wrapped something on top of tulle with put boots on, and the hair is kind of frizzy and kind of just like looks like store-bought shake and wave. So I'm gonna boot it because I just don't remember this one either.
Curtis.
If you had told me that this were like, I don't know, an 80s or Magic School Bus Runway or like anything else, I would toot it because her makeup is fucking stellar. And clearly she spent all the time putting her face on and nothing putting that outfit together, because that looks like a cover up to me. It looks like she's about to pull that belt off and there's going to be something even better underneath. And I watched the whole thing waiting for it to happen and it didn't. So if that's your outfit and I think it looks like a cover up, it's a boot. Those are really nice boots though.
Those are nice boots, Kai.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to boot it strictly just because I look at it as the challenge. And when you see some of the other queens using so much hair, and I'm not saying more means you win, but it's just a wig. And so I am gonna boot it, but she says when she's walking down the runway that those boots are specially made for her, and they do not look like they fit at all. So as soon as she said that, I was like, why would you say that? We're looking at the boots. We can see they don't fit. Anyway, I'm nitpicking. It's a boot.
I don't hate this as much as you all do. I understand that you can argue it doesn't meet the brief. I do think that the hair was bigger than you're getting from this photo, because I think the lights in the back are maybe washing it out a little bit. To me, it was so different for this challenge. It was a welcome change. I really liked the yellow. It read completely 80s, and that's what she was going for. I don't hate it. And you can tell me I'm all wrong and that I have terrible taste and I'm a bad gay, but I'm going to toot it.
I
Sorry.
will.
That's fine. You can send it to my mother. Next, we have Scarlet Bobo, our resident circus clown.
I'm torn with this one, but I think I do like it. I get what she's doing with her hair. She's trying to give you clown realness, kind of Bianca, kind of a feel. So I'm gonna toot it. I like it. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. So I'm gonna toot it.
Curtis?
I don't like it. I love the boots. I love the gloves. I actually like the black and blonde mix. I hate the 3 balls. That's really what's pulling me out of it, I think. I also didn't quite understand when she walked out on stage, she had smoke in her mouth. It didn't fit. Like I was like, okay, well, what was that a continuation from last week? Like you just swallowed the fire and now there's smoke. That was her, right?
Yes. Get some
Okay.
Tom's girl. Like, enough.
Okay. I'm gonna say boot because no.
All right, Kai, to you.
I actually am okay with this look. I think, like Curtis said, I don't necessarily like the look, but I think it fits the challenge. Also, very often tattoos pull me out of a look, but I think they're actually fitting for this look. The hair is something that is different and you're not seeing other people do it. And I agree with the balls. If maybe they were a different color and then it went up and she had one on her nose. I think that could have been really, really, really nice. And then also I like that we do get a shape with her, even though we have hair on her. So I'm gonna toot it.
I guess I'm in a good mood today. I'll also toot this one. I will think that it is a very simple construction, but what we're not getting from the photo is it moved beautifully on the runway. She was twirling and whirling, and this thing looked great. It is real simple, right? It's basically 2 giant tracts of hair in a V shape. You're not reinventing the wheel here, but I think it was effective. I will agree that I find that those balls are out of place and unneeded, but I think she was really going in for that I'm a clown thing, and that's how she decided to really sell that. I don't think she needed it, but I don't dislike those small elements enough to boot it. So for me, it's a toot. And finally on the stage, we have Alona Verley, and I'm going to give it to Brett.
So I'm torn with this one because it's just a corset, basically, with some boots. But I feel like the embellishments made it better, and she's giving you the poodle realness with the hair that's appropriate. So I'm gonna toot it.
Curtis?
So angry. Again with the fucking nipple pasties.
I knew it. I knew it. You were not gonna have it.
Bring something different. Bring it like if that had been covered, absolute toot. I enjoy the rest of it. The hair is pretty big. There's hair on her shoulders, on the poodles. There's hair fringe. Like the rest of it looks okay. I don't like that the boots are all kind of crumply down. I love her hips. Like I love the shape. There's so many things that I love about this, but I'm going to boot it just because of your fucking nipples.
No more nipples on the runway, ladies. You heard it here. Kai.
Yeah, I'm gonna detach who she is on this episode and how well she did from the outfit because I think I would judge her more harshly. I also don't think those are boots. I think they're just covers. I'm pretty sure they probably snap or Velcro in the back or something because I don't think those are actually boots. I think they're. I don't know. I love this look. Whoever designed it did an amazing job, and it looks incredible on her. She sold it on the runway. The hair works. You know, the shoulder pads didn't look floppy or anything. It looked very well constructed. I'm gonna toot it. I would wear this. I would totally. If someone made it for me in size 6'5", I would wear it.
You would look amazing. Just don't put your nipples in front of Curtis.
Nope.
Just don't do it. I hear exactly what you're saying, Curtis, because I had the same reaction to this where I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, give me a week. I guess technically last week we could not see her areolas, but it's just... I appreciate different types of drag, but you're so close and then you fuck it up, I guess. I don't know. I will give this a 2 because I think the garment itself is interesting. It is beautiful. The shade of blue that this is in is again, not necessarily coming through in the photo, but it's gorgeous. It's washed out by the lights, I think. But it was this really beautiful blue that apparently is her signature color. This is, I think, probably the best she's looked on the runway. The mug is usually always strong, but I don't disagree with you, Curtis, enough with the bare boy chest in a drag competition. It's just, no one is here for that. And if that's all you're going to keep giving us, it's going to get very old. It has gotten very old, and you got to give me something more. So with that all said, we need to go to our top toots of the week. Brett, who is yours?
All right. I am going to go with Priyanka.
All right, Curtis.
I think I only gave one toot this week, and it went to Jimbo.
All right, so Jimbo by default is what you're telling me?
Yep.
All right, and Kai?
I'm gonna say Jimbo too. Like I said, I just didn't want him to stop walking. I could have watched him walk up and down the runway all day. He gives me something new. I'm excited to see what he does next.
Yeah, it's funny. I think I'm also going to give it to Jimbo as well, but it's kind of, again, by default, because even though I did more toots than Curtis, there was nothing that really bowled me over. And we've had some solid looks so far on this show.
Bowl cut.
Bull cut me over. So I really am hoping to see some better stuff next week from our queens, but I will give it to Jimbo too. So that is our fashion photo review for episode 3. We hope you enjoyed it. I will say really quickly on the topic of the show itself, I thought episode 3 was really where the whole series kind of came together. I thought the challenge was great. It separated the men from the women, and I'm super excited to see what happens next. Thank you all for watching our little video. For more content from the Great Pop Culture Debate, please go to our website, greatpopculturedebate.com, and see what polls are open for your votes and see what episodes of context we have covered. Thank you to my panel. Thank you for watching, and we hope we'll see you next week on the Looney.